Today's sermon is called On Change. The Cooke family is a fan of the BBC show Doctor Who. We're not fanatical about it, but we do have more than one TARDIS in the house and maybe a Dalek or two. Every year we look forward to the Doctor Who Christmas special, and this year was no different. The plot included both the first and 12th Doctor. Seems both Doctors were reluctant to regenerate, a process whereby the Doctor does not die, but is reborn into a new version of the Doctor. Memories intact, if not a bit latent at first. The Doctor has two choices. When faced with what would be a human death, he can die or regenerate. It's a big difference, a big choice that has consequences for potential future Doctors. The point is, people, just like the Doctor, have choices. Do or don't, yes or no, maybe or maybe not, that can make large changes in our lives. So I want you to kind of imagine your life as being a path, and you can make a mental image of this where as you begin it would be somewhat vague, and as you go on it would be longer and longer, and there would be embellishments or decorations, and I'll be speaking to that as I move forward. So imagine this path in your head. A life is like a path, a journey that starts out at birth and ends when we die. At first, I'd say the path is rather short in expectation for the one living it. Parents and grandparents might have a much larger path in mind. But as we grow up, our future does expand. And what we want to do when we grow up becomes added to our path, our journey, at least the vision of our life. Soccer league or Cub Scouts or swim team or gymnastics become part of our path. And I'm talking not only of the paths we are actually living, but the path we envision and how we might decorate the path with people and events that become so much a part of who and what we are. Our paths continue to be trod for sure, but we also become much richer in how we decorate our lives, our future. As we grow older, we experience forks in the road. Most are small differences, choices with modest changes in our overall path. But some other decisions that we make or are made for us can also create significant changes in our lives. For example, most grade schools have at least 2 teachers for most grades, but you are only taught by one of them. So, think back to your maybe 3rd or 4th grade teacher you had. Maybe you remember a name or a face, but that choice made some difference in your life and perhaps made a difference on how your path was decorated. Maybe your love of science blossomed, or your total disgust of singing in a group was formed. So imagine that your path decorations included at some point of joy of singing in a group, but that decoration is now deleted based on your experience in 4th grade. Choices and change, choices and change. At some point in our lives, our paths are extended many years ahead, and the decorations are an important part of our lives and our future. As I approached retirement and then retired, my path underwent many changes. I thought I had that planned out pretty well, but it turned out the decorations were unexpected and frankly kept changing. The path I lived grew familiar in time, and my future path evolved and morphed into a path that saw new decorations spring up. My future path was looking pretty good. Some of us take a look backward to the path we have lived and spend more or less time remembering them. Some of us take the time to polish the old path so that it shines brighter now than it did then. We embellish our history every now and then. The home run went farther, the boy was better looking and taller, the car faster, the sun warmer, and when we recall that section of our life path, these moments continue to be clearer and sharper than the rest. So now take a minute and imagine your life path, looking forward not only days, but weeks, and maybe years ahead. Go ahead. Your path can be like calculations on a chalkboard. Lots of decorations, the path well laid out, clear and bright close by, less so as time stretches out and the path becomes more like a vision or a plan, and less like a series of specific events. There will be travel, not necessarily specific trips. Playing with the grandkids, not a trip to Legoland. Change in our lives can affect our path and our decorations. Change can add color and depth to the path. For example, when we have children, or like an erasure when there is loss. And it can be the loss of a job that makes some of our path not possible, or loss of friends drifting away over time. And that plan we had decorated down the road is not possible any longer. Our path is constantly being upgraded by change, and there is no way around this. What matters is how we appreciate and handle change that makes big differences to our path and the plans we had made, the decorations we put along our future path. And we need to be aware of the opportunities we have to be agents of change for ourselves, to make our path better, one that has a heart, to quote Don Juan. So back to the Doctor Who dilemma, to regenerate or not. The first doctor is just plain scared and not sure what the right answer is. The 12th doctor has the benefit or curse of knowing what happened the last 11 times a regeneration has happened. And knowing this, should he continue? I won't tell you, but you are going to have to watch for yourselves. That being said, there is a new season coming up. May the Spirit of life and love bless us with a path full of joy and wonder, full of decorations that bring happiness to us all. And may the changes we experience help us to learn and grow and find a path that is just right for each of us. Amen. Namaste. Shalom.